then they suddenly saw these glowing people in the forest. Like this, it looked like people coming from the forest that were glowing. And Clive, that man jumped on that motorbike so fast and book away.
Check for himself.
I talking booking at 100 miles per hour.
Wow.
And leave the woman and literally ran into a fence, right? Ended up running into a fence. So, and she had to call the 911 for the guy, right?
Yes.
But the point was, like she said, you leave me again. And he had done this before. Like every time there's trouble, he runs.
Oh boy.
So that song is so poignant because, you know, it's very appropriate because of the fact that not everybody stands by you.
No.
Like you want, now mind you want them to be there now, Clive, because, you know, when you have them ride or die, you're supposed to be in the cell sitting next to them. But plenty of them is leave you.
Yes,
but this goddamn microbiome, if you go rob the bank, it's right there next to you. You know, if you go do something wrong, it's right on the side of you and it don't leave you.
Not at all.
That's by you. So yes, I just thought that song was really, really amazing. So thank you.
Okay, great.
Dr. Clive, take it away.
Oh, thank you so much, Queen Dr. Ruth and Lightborn. Never dull moment. You rise to the occasion in beautiful ways. Thank you so much. That song, Stand By Me. And later on, as we continue the conversation, you'll understand what we're talking about, that is standing by you, that is not even human. Can you imagine that? Your best friend, your most faithful ally, is not even a human source. It's a microbial source that is prepared to stand with you, stand by you, and even die for you. It's amazing what we have. And over the last couple years, we have enjoyed conversation like this. Every Tuesday night about this time, we come together and we have this conversation. It's not a very common conversation as yet, but we believe it's going to get there. It's a conversation that may be, 15, 20, or even 25 years ahead of its time, but yet it is a conversation that must begin. It is interesting that this conversation is taking place at the grassroots, when many parts of academia has not yet really started to publish this information in a way that the grassroots people can understand. But yet, the very source of the information is coming from the creme de la cremes of this world, in terms of the journals, in terms of the universities. These universities are medical and non-medical universities, PhD persons who are authors, magazines, televisions, publishers, houses, all the major places. Many medical conferences are speaking as main topics about the microbiome, these bacteria, these microscopic organisms have taken over the center stage of conversation in the medical fraternity for good reason. And some of that we are going to discuss this evening. The conversation is a big conversation. It's large, it's huge. It's a conversation that won't end tonight, not at all. But it's a conversation for those of us who are coming on for the first time in a long time. You don't get to come on as often as you'd like to, but you know that this is a conversation you want to be a part of. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Marva. Thank you, Dr. Ruthan. Thank you, all persons who have shined on tonight. And you can still call and text a friend or two that you believe may be interested in being a part of our conversation tonight. So we invite you to while you're listening, text somebody and say, hey, come on. So where we're going to jump off tonight is probably asking a question. It's a question that I'm not, say, directing to you to point any fingers at anybody. It's more fingers I'm pointing to myself too. Last week, one day, I was contemplating something I heard, and a series of thoughts was flowing like a river. And I had to just grab pen and paper, start writing them down. They were all questions. all questions. I'm hoping that as we look and contemplate some of these questions tonight, that you might see value in it, that you might pick sense out of nonsense, see which ones are for you, which ones are not for you. But we're not here to point fingers, we're just having a conversation. So are you living? The question is, are you living in an angry, unhappy, unhealthy body? Are you living in a body that is angry, a body that is unhappy, and a body that is unhealthy? And I tell you what sparked all of these series of questions I'm about to talk about. Someone I was listening to on a video, a YouTube video, and the way they asked the question intrigued me. And I'm going to say it to you. They said, it felt like the end of the world when my body stopped listening to me. It felt like the end of the world when my body stopped listening to me. Wow. It's one thing for your best friend to stop listening to you. It's one thing for your sister, your brother. It's one thing for your mom that doesn't even want to listen to you anymore. It's one thing for your neighbor and your pastor, etc., don't want to even listen to you. But when your body, you sense it, you feel it, that my body don't even want to listen to me. It felt like the end of the world when my body stopped listening to me. Listening to me. So I'll share with you now some of the questions that emanated from this thought. Maybe quite a few, so please bear with me. Hope it makes sense to you. So I'm asking, has your body stopped listening to you? Has your body, stopped talking to you? Have you asked your body to live with a failing heart, poor circulation, fading eyesight, low energy, arthritic condition, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, etc.? Have you asked your body to live with chronic, degenerative, progressive diseases? Is there some, sorry, this frog just appeared in my throat all of a sudden. Hope it goes away soon. Is there some kind of disconnect going on with you and the organs inside your body? Are you living with a complaining body? Wow. Are you living inside of? Are you living with a complaining body? Have your body stopped complaining over the years? Or have your body been complaining over the years and you have not been able to address the complaint? Is your body wondering or asking if you still have unconditional love and support from you? Has your body begun to question your fidelity? Is your body disappointed with you? Is your body mad at you, upset with you? Is the body able to depend on you like it used to, or it once did? Have you been unreasonable to ask your body to suffer in silence? Are you observing and experiencing signs and symptoms of dis-ease coming from your inside? Have you asked your body to live without proper nutrition? Have you asked your body to live with certain types of poison, knowing that it is there, but you have asked your body to live with poison? And in addition to that, each day you're adding more poisons to an already toxic, burdened, complaining body. Do you sense that you are losing the trust and confidence of your body? Have you asked your body to live with damaged, failing organs? Have you allowed your body to live in pain with a disease for an unreasonable period of time? Have you started to feel, sorry, sorry about that, I'm very sorry about it. Have you started to feel that you are living with a constantly complaining body? Are you living with a hurting, complaining body? Does your body feel abused, neglected, abandoned, insulted, impoverished? Is your body healthy and happy, or sad, depressed, disgruntled, and attitudinal? Is your body displaying certain types of attitude? Can your body depend on you to find a solution and not to keep on making excuses? Are you having an unhappy, unhealthy body? I've said some of that already. Have you asked your body to live with toxins and poisons? Are you able to convince your body that you still have the will and commitment for its well-being going forward? So those are some questions that emanated. You could probably ask many more questions because you're sensing that something is not right. And the song says, if something is wrong with my baby, something is wrong with me. We are asking our body to survive in a world that has become very toxic, a world that has become hostile to the survival of the human species. Are you supporting your body the best way you know how, the best way you can? Have you neglected? Is it possible that your body, if it could, would take you to the court for proper maintenance, to take you to the court on the grounds of abuse, neglect, and other such things? Those are the thoughts that pop up in my mind as we ask our body to live in our modern world. We are too microbial to play with so much chemical. And we have asked our body to live with this. Moving on to something else. Have you ever been told by your doctor there is nothing wrong with you? Your doctor ever tell you that? Now you feel sick like a dog and him cousin. And you go to the doctor and the doctor said, there's nothing wrong with you. Wow. There is nothing wrong with you. You're feeling so bad, feeling so sick. There is nothing wrong with you. We can't find anything wrong with you. Everything is fine. Can you imagine that? You know you're feeling other than as if you're living in somebody else's body, like you want your body back. And the doctor may have the audacity to say, everything is fine with you, suggesting like you might be losing it upstairs, you know? You feel trapped inside a sick, unhealthy, unhappy body. Is there a feeling that is worse than that? Sense as if you are trapped in your own body of sickness, your body of pain, your body of misery, trapped. And there seems to be no suggestion of a solution coming anytime soon. One medication has led to two. You are now 5 different medications. You are seeing 5 different doctors, 4 different specialists, and the pain is getting worse. You feel worse than you did before. You're taking more medication than you have ever taken, more than the law allowed, and you don't even feel like you used to feel. And you're not old as yet, but you feel old. Having senior moments in junior bodies. And Dr. Mark Hyman said this generation may be the first generation not only to live sicker than their parents, but to die before their parents. What a sad time. What a sad thing to know, to learn, to understand. Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, that the doctors or practitioners, ourselves, we are not looking at the right things for the right answers. You know, of course, I'm proposing that maybe it is your microbiome, but then your doctor can't see it. Your doctor may not even know about it. Your doctor may not know that your microbiome exists. It is possible that a doctor that has been to university and trained for, say, 5 years, an internship for 2 years, a doctor, for example, that's been a doctor for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and do not know, not yet aware that you have what medical science is now calling your microbiome. Your microbiome. Now, if you go to your doctor and your doctor is about to write for you an antibiotic prescription because it's suspect that you have an infection, and you ask the doctor an important question. I said, Doc, is that an antibiotic you're writing for me? I said, yes, I'm writing for you this course of antibiotic. And you know, because you have come on this call and you have read something on the internet or your friend have a conversation with you, said, but Doc, what is the likely effect of this antibiotic on my microbiome? If your doctor eyes begin to become shifty, rolling over and is looking sideways and look like you want to go around the back but look at something, you know that something is not so right. Because something may be wrong, that if your doctor does not know that you have a microbiome, you may be at the wrong doctor. Uh-oh. Am I right to say that? Does it make sense to say that? And if your doctor know that you have a microbiome and is writing for you an antibiotic and is not prepared to prescribe a prebiotic and probiotic, then you say, doctor, what is happening here? Because I think one of the saddest things that doctors can do for a patient is to give them a full spectrum antibiotic that's going to totally decimate their microbiome. And then not to have a way now to help the person to go back their microbiome, to become healthy again. That's we told, you know, that maybe for the type of infection that you have is life-threatening. Because some persons may say, doctor, I agree that I might need an antibiotic, but is there one that I can get more from a natural source? Do I have options? Those are the sort of conversations that might need to happen. If someone is very sick, I might need to take an antibiotic for any reason. Because guess what? You can't live without your microbiome. You can't live without those bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, archaea, and the names of all of those. You may know some of them, you may not know them, but that is the word and the name they have now, a title they have given to the collection of microscopic organisms that live on you and in you. It's called the microbiome. Thanks to Dr. Joshua Liederberg, Nobel Prize laureate from 2001. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to participate more in our well-being, to have a say in the things that are happening inside of our body. And I want to be quick to say, around here, we're not having a war with any doctor. We don't curse doctors. We don't abuse doctors. But what we are saying is that we have become aware of certain type of information which cannot be refuted by the brightest doctor, professor at university, because we have 100,000 published scientific papers about the microbiome. So this conversation, ladies and gentlemen, is not small. And when you bear in mind that the Human Genome Project was not a small project, it's one of the most ambitious projects ever undertaken by human beings. Because 1990 was a critical year. Finally, humans have the computing capacity to sequence and map every single gene in the human body. The then President Bill Clinton called a massive conference and told them that finally we may find a solution to Alzheimer's, to Parkinson's, to cancer, diabetes, MS, etc. And they start out on the journey of studying and mapping and sequencing the genes in the human body. 10 years later, 10 years later, why are they looking disappointed? Why are they looking sad? They have not found the answers they were looking for. A professor by the name of Professor Julian Davies wrote to them and said, be warned. He wrote to Science magazine, to be more precise. Be warned that even though 1,000 of the world's top scientists have participated in the study, and the top 20 universities of the world have participated in the study, be warned. You cannot consider human health and not to include bacteria in your study of human health. Wow. He went on to say, you have in excess of 1,000 species of bacteria living on you and inside of you, and you have to pay attention to them as you consider human health. That is when, a couple years later, 2008, started the Human Microbiome Project, studying the other types of genes that are inside your body that you thought were critters. They were just there to cause problem, troublemakers, to get rid of them, to be made persona non grata, poison them up. When they did the study of the human microbiome, 5, 6 years later, what they found out has startled the imagination and boggles the mind of every single human living on this planet. In the word of Susan Lynch, we did not know. This is a watershed moment in human biology. It will change the face of medicine forever. What did they find out? Why the doctor of 20 odd years would say that. Here's what they found out. Humans have 22,500 genes. We want it up and call it 23,000 genes there. But do you know what they discovered about the non-human genes in the body? More than 3 million. So humans thought we are in control of this amazing, fantabulous, top of the totem pole body, state of the art. We are in control. We boast 23,000 genes, only to find out that we are outnumbered and outgunned 100 to 200 to 1. How you wrap that around your head now? That what make us human ain't even human. 99.9% of the genes being expressed in your body right now are not being done by human entities. They are being done by non-human entities. And that is how it has been from the day, from the hour, from the minute, from the second that you were born. And we did not know that microbes played such a critical role in our human existence. This, ladies and gentlemen, is changing the course of medicine, has change the course of medicine, and will change the way we look at the human body forever. Because what you are seeing in the mirror does not truly reflect who you are. What is written on your driver's license and in your passport does not truly reflect and represent who you really are. Because you are more than a human being. You are more referred to as a superhuman, meaning that it takes human entity and non-human entity to keep you alive, healthy, kicking, up and running every single moment of your life. The song says we can't live with them, but we can't live without them. They have poisoned our mind against microbes, in particular bacteria, from we were children. Now to learn and understand that our best friend is not your friend in a classroom, or your best friend is not the one in the bed with you. Your best friend is the one you can't even see with your naked eyes, that you could not have survived even for months without it, much less to live to be how old you are now. You cannot live without your microbiome. Can't live without your microbiome. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the startling facts that's coming out. Let me rush on to make this point and then I move on to other things I want to say. Your microbiome defines and defies you at the same time. Just like 2D words to say that. Your microbiome defines you, but it also defies you. We have waged war against bacteria. It's the most stupid war that mankind has ever waged. Stupid. Nobody going into a war does not take the time to study the strength and the weakness of their enemy. But we can declare war against bacteria centuries now. And we don't know what we declared war against. Because guess what? Humans cannot win the war against bacteria. You know that? It's a war you cannot do. We declare a war that we could not have won. It's a stupid war. Because guess what? How do you declare war against an enemy that you do not know? How do you declare war against an enemy that knows more about you than you know about your enemy? And hear this one now. How do you declare war against something that knows about you more than you know about your very self? You tell me the truth now. Does that war make any sense to you? Does it make sense we go around trying to kill off as many microbial organisms as possible? Truth about it, what we do not understand, we abuse. And we have abused the microbes for years. Micro level and a macro level. Abuse. And every single living thing on the planet has a microbiome or is part of a microbiome. Every living thing. You can't escape it. As a matter of fact, I see us migrating and graduating rather from your mother's womb into the womb of the microbiome, Mother Nature. You might disagree with me, but that is what comes to my mind. You were living this little space. They say that it is sterile. Modern sciences say that it may not be so sterile after all, because they are seeing bacterial footprint in the placenta. They are seeing bacterial fingerprint in the first stool that you're passing, in the amniotic fluid. They see the footprint of bacteria. And we are learning now that your mother microbiome when you were being developed in your mother's womb, there are some professor microbiome that makes certain chemicals and hormones to ensure that your brain is properly developed. Oh my God. Did I just say that? Could that ever be possible? And the same brain that microbes help to shape and develop is now being used to bite the hand that feeds us. You understand why I get sort of emotional sometimes when I talk about the microbiome? I wondered, how did the powers that be got this so wrong? When 100 years ago, Eli Metchnikov, 100 years ago, wrote that most diseases in the body are caused when good bacteria are no longer able to control bad bacteria. 100 years ago. And even Mark Twain, a novelist, wrote 100 years ago, my 3,000 years journey with microbes. Look at that. Look at that. We got it so wrong and still getting it wrong, because even as we speak, somebody is being prescribed full spectrum antibiotic to totally decimate and wipe out the bacteria. We are being taught to live in a bubble, separate from Mother Nature, separate from bacteria and other microscopic organisms, to be separated from them and to live sterile. Sterile where? This is not planet of the apes. This is planet of bacteria. Here on this planet, bacteria is king. So if you want to live in a sterile environment, you are on the wrong planet. Find somewhere else. Because I'm told, don't know how they count it, that there are more bacteria living on the planet than there are grains of sand. Every grain of sand you lift up, there is a bacteria underneath it, multiple. It's crazy. We need the microbiome, but the microbiome don't need us, because they have been surviving for probably billions of years. Then we came along, so they have survived without us. But guess what? We can't survive without them any more than the soil can survive without the plant. But the plant can't survive without that. Finish it for me. Yes. So we need the microbiome, and we are dependent on the microbiome. But at the same time, some dopey fool with, and we are trying to kill them off. We can't even kill off ants, much as a kill off bacteria. Does not make any sense. Let me move on to something else. The microbiome is constantly trying to interpret you with a view of keeping you healthy and keeping you happy. What do I mean by that? Your microbiome is sensing your mood. It's sensing when you're angry. It senses when you are upset. It senses that something has thrown you off. But Clive, you're not yourself. You're not yourself. And your microbes will begin, in particular bacteria, will begin to make hormones, will begin to make neurotransmitters to try and stabilize you, because you are behaving unlike yourself. You have heard some news. The news has thrown you off. You are driving on the road and a taxi man or a minibus man cut in front of you to pick up a passenger. And you are livid. I say, Clive, this is not good for your heart. And somebody may have high blood pressure. You don't want to. No. Your string is about to snap. And your microbes now have to make hormones and chemicals to stabilize you and take you down to normal again. Oh my God. It's amazing. They try to interpret you. And I was listening to a doctor that's supposed to know his sort, and said, if something happens to you and you're startled, frightened, and you get whatever you want to call it, your microbes respond in the same way. Cringes, and then begin to do things now to stabilize you, to get you back on track again, to calm you down. Some persons don't calm down so easy, you know. Them boil like lava in the volcano. For hours and hours, somebody did them something and they boil, upset. Everybody must know they're upset. Is it possible because their microbiome is not working so well? So your response system is out of whack, it's out of balance, and you're out of control. And some persons will even be so mad, take a gun down the guy that might drive them in an argument with them, or you might do something evil. So we need our microbes to make the neurotransmitters, to make the hormones, to stabilize us. Because you know that we have 3 brains, right? Yeah, Clive Campbell, no? And some persons might, I don't even know that I have 2 brains, much as 3. Yeah, you have 3 brains. That is what medical science is now thinking. Here in your skull, you have 100 billion neurons. They call it a brain. The 39 trillion microscopic organisms living in your gut is called a brain, and it's entrusted with 500 million neurons all to your GI tract. That is why somebody's belly feel weak when they hear bad news. And you have different butterflies in the stomach, because there is that sense in which your gut is also a brain, but then your heart is a 3rd brain. 40,000 neurons in your heart. Somebody's heart is broken, can get a heart attack same time. Or the person feels so deflated and defeated and despondent, etc. They might run off a cliff, take their own life and take the lives of others. Heart is, how dare you break my heart, girl? How could you crush my heart like that, guy? And they get insane. They all call it the 3 hearts. You have 3 hearts to take care of. I know I can't talk a lot about it on this program, but you know how to investigate and see if Clive can be heard. Just take him when you said that. So you have your thinking brain, your gut would be your sensing brain, your heart is your feeling brain. All your brains must work together. But if your microbiome is damaged, this brain can't work well. If this doesn't work well, your heart doesn't work well. They all depend on each other for balance. We talk about homeostasis. That's very serious. But your microbiome is constantly interpreting you, interpreting your mood, interpreting your vibe, interpreting your attitude. What has happened to you? And try to get you to be stable again. That is why we have to ensure that we have a healthy, happy, balanced microbiome so that you don't stay hurt and complaining and toxic for too long. It's not good for you. As a matter of fact, it helps you to process things differently. You might say to yourself, that guy that just bad drive me may be in a hurry to go home because he got a call that his daughter fell off the bed and he need to reach home quickly. So you learn all of a sudden you become more intelligent. Do you know that your microbiome make you feel more intelligent, behave more intelligently, respond more intelligently? After all, it's a brain. And you have what is called the gut-brain axis. How your gut speaks to your brain. What is it, Clive? Yeah. Your gut and your brain are constantly communicating to keep you alive on this planet every moment of the day. This is where science has taken us. And they are all singing the same song. Every publishing house, every university. These microbes are not easy. They're not normal. And them run things. Some persons are audacious enough to suggest that what we call the second brain, the gut, might really be the first brain. But that's a conversation for another day. Because the way that these microbes behave is like it's for them body and they're in control. But there's such a relationship between your human body and the microscopic organisms, that there's a trust factor. Not meaning in a negative way, but they trust each other for the gut to send certain information to the brain, and the brain makes certain chemicals in response to the information and instruction it got from the gut to all the other cranial nerves inside of the body. That it works a lot to the vagus nerve. The gut is making chemicals to impact your immune system. It's making chemicals that is thrown into your blood, and it's getting them to the snail mail or lightning fast mail, that it's getting to the brain, and it's impacting the brain in so many ways. You've got those microbes in the gut. They are considered your internal pharmacy. They make oh my God. Bacteria are known as makers of chemicals. If it's one thing bacteria know to do, is to make chemicals. They are chemical factories. Maybe small, but when you had millions to billions to trillions, little becomes much and has an impact on the human body. So don't let anybody damage your internal pharmacy. And don't be in any hurry to take chemicals from outside to distort the chemicals that your body is making by your microbes on the inside. That is where you cause imbalance now and disease, etc. When external chemical sources comes into the body and disrupts what the body is seeking to accomplish, and might even damage and decimate, because every bacteria, every chemical, every medicine that you take has chemicals in it that is toxic to your microbiome. A lot of the food you're eating is toxic to the microbiome. Many of our lifestyles are toxic to the microbiome, because we go to the supermarket, go and buy things, we kill 99.9% microbes and bacteria, only to realize that what? You are mostly bacterial. 10 trillion human cells, 100 trillion microbial cells. 23,000 human genes, 3 million to 9 million. 23,000 human genes, hope I get that right, and 3 to 9 million microbial genes. Can we claim that we are a human being? The new narrative is we are superhuman. It takes more than just human cells, bacterial, viral, fungal, protozoal, etc. Cooperating, doing their part in helping this body to survive on this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, the narrative has changed, and many of us, many of our medical practitioners have not gotten the memo. Old medicine is still being practiced with new technology in terms of understanding the microbiome. It's causing havoc in people's lives, because one round of antibiotics can wipe out 80% of the microbial population in the body. That is disaster. You're vulnerable. You're like sleeping in a house with your door and the windows open at nighttime. Any moment, bad boy come in, thief and criminal come out. You're vulnerable. You are as healthy as your microbiome is healthy. Wow. You are as happy as your microbiome is happy. So the point I've just made, your microbes are constantly trying to interpret you and to make appropriate chemicals to keep you stable again. Something throws you off, come back into balance. How much would you pay for a system like that? Mankind is yet to devise, with all the artificial intelligence they have, nothing is as smart as your microbiome to keep you healthy. 6 pounds of microbes, 2% of your body weight is there, given to you as a gift by God to keep you happy, to keep you healthy. I'm trying to find something I wrote here. Oh, see it here. I have to get this in before I finish. It says, what if we recognize and understand that God designed our cells and tissues and organs to be a reflection of his love and care for us? What if you recognize? Cells meaning not only human cells. Is it possible that the non-human cells in our body that we have been fighting was meant to be a reflection of God's care and love for us? To fulfill his mandate, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in, not only in health, but good health, even as your soul prosper. 6 pounds of microbes were bestowed on you, and you must be the vanguard of protecting, the steward of protecting those microscopic organisms that are designed to heal you. Your microbes. You might have heard me say this already, I'll say it again. I sense the arrangement that the microbiome has made with man. We will take care of your health. Any health concern, we will be the minister of health for you. That you can be the minister of finance. Because our diet is not no cheap, pian, dibby diet. We don't want no bag juice pan base and cheese tricks. The microbes are complaining, you know. Cheese tricks and bag juice and rice and flour can't feed we. That's what I'm saying, you know. Here is what some of them require. Dark chocolate, cranberry, pomegranate, wine, because of its resveratrol content. Maybe the reason why we are sick is that we are no longer catering for a certain species of microbes that wears tuxedo because they are the state-of-the-art cutting-edge guys. And we are give them cheese tricks when they want good food, real food, food with fiber. We're giving them food that is refined, acidic, and processed. That is poisonous, inflammatory, and nutrient lacking. They are complaining that they are being undernourished and underfed. Yet you want them work miracles to keep you alive. Ladies and gentlemen, it may be a good time to rethink. Is your diet messing you up and setting you up? Because the food you're eating, is it nourishing you or the food you're eating poisoning you? Slow poison food we're eating, you know? It takes years to kill you, but it's slow poison food. We must start to eat good food. What would happen if you become a revolutionary and you begin to feed your bacteria them the way that your bacteria are supposed to be fed and maintained and cared for, and they are happy every moment of the day? Guess what will happen to you? No more diseases, no more pain, no more complaining. You would stop taking medicine. You stop checking in the hospital. And guess where you start checking? The next cruise, going to London, Paris, Venice, Sydney Upper Hall. And you're going to check in with your lady, Andrea Bocelli, singing those operas. So instead of checking in the next hospital, you're checking in on a cruise. Wouldn't that be a better thing to do? No, man, especially Christians. Too many Christians are occupying benches and spaces in hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices. The amount of money where we spend. I know there are doctors on the call, I'm not knocking you, but I'm just saying to you, take care, take care of yourself and spend your money on food that can nourish your body. And then when you take care of your bacteria will take care of you. Oh my God, I sense that my time finished. What time now? 2 minutes before an hour. But I wanted to get in those important points because we must recognize that we are living in a body of wonder, fearfully and wonderfully made, David said, and he did not even know that we have a microbiome. What a thing if he knew that we have something as a universe living inside of us. Wow. I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder. Thy power throughout then sings my soul. How great thou art, how great thou art. Look at you. You don't need too much excitement out the door. Inside of you alone, 100 trillion microscopic organisms, and bacteria alone, 1,000 species. You are the emperor of this universe, in charge of here. Let no sickness dwell here. Let it be health. Let it be wealth. And the bacteria, they want to play a part in getting your mind thinking in a way that you're a money magnet. You're attracting money. Money, oh, to take care of yourself and take care of them so you can eat better. And some persons would have eaten better if they had better accounts, bank accounts. Honestly, no. Some persons would have taken more and better supplements if they had money. But a lot of people call me all the time and sad to say they have more disease than they have money. And when them list out all the things that they have, you feel sorry for them. And then you give them an idea what it will cost for them to get back their health over a 3-month period. They say, Brother Clive, I can only afford to buy half a box, which is the best one you have. Them need about 8 different products, but they want half a box and the best one product to fix all the Marley gripe and flux of complaint. How do you advise a person like that? You really feel sorry. If you have lost your health and you're trying to regain it, here is a suggestion. Get your microbiome as healthy as possible, and your microbiome will get you as healthy as possible. The healing that you seek so desperately may really be, firstly, the healing of your microbiome. And tell me what is going on inside of your body that a healthy, happy, vibrant microbiome cannot make the necessary chemicals for your body to heal itself. Because man doesn't make his own medicine. Bacteria does, by utilizing the power of fiber. Break it down into short-chain fatty acid, butyrate, acetate, and propionate, amino acids and lactic acid, and those things. Make those things to keep us healthy, and butyrate in particular. If you ever knew what butyrate does for the body, you'll never be out of it. You want your body to be a butyrate producing factory because it is the healer of the human body. Is your body making butyrate? Is your body making sufficient butyrate? Because it is butyrate that is the preferred fuel to heal a damaged gut, a leaky gut, an inflamed gut, an unhappy gut. Butyrate. It's amazing. We don't have time to go into all of that. Hold on, Marva, you're clearing the throat? You're trying to give me a signal? 1 hour gone.
Because you're no Dr. Clive Campbell. I can flash my mic like I normally do. I have to show my respect.
Yeah, but
So
tell me
when you hear
something. Since the mic is open, Lady Marva, how did the information go this year? Was it making sense to you?
Plenty. And you say you're not throwing in the words at anybody, but why everyone of them hit me, even when I duck.
Ouch.
You were asking those questions, that yes and no questions you were asking. I tell you, I've got dents all over my body.
As I said, it's one day, as I read the statement of the lady, it dawned on me that it is a very, it said, it felt like the end of the world when my body stopped listening to me. You feel that? You ever feel that way? Is my body listening to me? Is my
Yeah.
body keeping malice with me? Why am I hurting? I'm living in such a hurting, painful body.
But
My
seriously though, Dr.
God.
Campbell, the
Yeah.
good thing about this now, we know about the microbiome.
Mm,
I'm sure a lot of people here who heard all these information about the microbiome and gone on Google and other search engines and check these things,
mhm,
and they've given up things. We've all
mhm,
given up things.
mhm.
I loved oxtail. Now I can look at it, I could watch people eat it, and I don't crave for it.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I don't. I'm eating salads. And when I'm tired of eating salad, I throw it in my blender and put some of the hasaki in it
Mm,
and blend that thing. Sometimes put half a banana or put some of the berries in it and stuff. And it's amazing.
mm,
My friend, I have a friend whom I told you is your niece. I call her your niece because her name is Janet Campbell.
yes.
She says, Mama, I'm so proud of you. I can't imagine that you would come to this point where you're in love with your body. You're in love with you so much that you're taking care of it. That made me feel really good. And I give credit um to you, Dr. Ruth, and all the people, even all the people who are here tonight. I give them credit because it shows me it's not just me that wants to know. It's not a fad thing. I've seen some of these people here like almost every week. Some participate in the chat, some doesn't. But you know why they don't? Some people don't participate in the chat. They're too keen on hearing what you have to say.
Mm,
you know so it's an amazing thing. It's a good ride in 2020, and we're looking for more in 2023. And I know you have a lot of things
mhm,
planning for us, and we're happy. But you know what we're going to do too? We're going to start doing stuff for us. So we're going to go into books and magazines and search engines and stuff, and we're going to look for ourselves and find some things too. So sometimes when you open up, let's say everybody can open up the mic and speak, that people will have something to say to you and not be afraid to say, thinking because you know more than us
mhm.
that we're going to leave this, we're going to feel intimidated. We're not. Right,
Well,
Dr. Joy?
lady, Marv, oh, you want Joy to come in first, or then I say something?
It took you for her to open her mic if she wants to say something.
Oh, Lady Joy, Dr. Pereira, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think she's on. I put her as
Mhm.
co-host. I don't know if it's the right Joy.
Okay, okay, I have more than one
Maybe she
Joy.
maybe
You have
she's
two
on but she
Joy.
can't open. Maybe she
Okay.
can't participate.
While while she may be opening, allow me to give the listeners and persons here this gem. I've said it in different ways before.
Mhm,
That of course bacteria must be cared for,
mhm,
nurtured, protected, and appreciated. But in terms of the nurtured, I am remembering that there is a portion, a type of sugar in human breast milk, human milk oligosaccharide
mhm,
that puzzled the scientists and doctors for decades. Why
mhm,
is the human body making a component that the baby cannot digest? And it
mhm.
represents at least 30% of the composition of milk. Why is it doing this? You know the conclusion they come to? That human milk oligosaccharide is a prebiotic that is nourishing the probiotic inside of the baby's gut. It's for the bacteria.
Wow.
So human milk is the perfect prebiotic and probiotic because human milk contains bacteria.
Mm.
let me
Isn't
tell
that
you,
amazing?
let me tell you the name of one. Lactobacillus reuteri. That has become one of my favorite bacteria. Let me take you just a minute to say this. This bacteria, Lactobacillus reuteri, lives in the gastrointestinal tract. In the third trimester of pregnancy, this bacteria gets a message from the womb and I don't know if it's Telegram or WhatsApp or email, but it causes bacteria to exit the colon, the GI tract, enters the blood, says taxi or Uber, rides on it, and exit the blood and stays in the nipple of the mother, would be mother, until the child begins to be breastfed. It is squirted into the child.
So that's the first thing
And
the child gets, that
yes,
first part.
and helps now to protect the mother for 3 generations from breast cancer. Among other things. It is the same lactobacillus reuteri that stimulate the brain, the pituitary, and the hypothalamus to release oxytocin, lactobacillus reuteri. It is the same bacteria stimulating oxytocin release. Oxytocin is your love hormone, the social hormone that helps you to live better with people. All of a sudden, your husband look more handsome. You're not in any argument with your husband or your wife. You are better able to understand other people's points of view. You live better with a co-worker. Church people live better with one another.
What?
Church people, they keep malice, even in a church. Oops, did I say that? And even in the Holy Spirit, they dance down the aisle and say, like a sister, them don't want to shake her hand. Them dance come back up the aisle in the spirit and go up on the other side. There's a whole heap of science going on in church, and church people don't live good with each other. And I'm thinking that because oxytocin is on the low side, because they may not have the guy that makes a lot of it, lactobacillus reuteri. I had to give you guys that gem.
Wow. So that first, I can't pronounce that thing. I have to draw. You say it for me.
Yeah, lactobacillus reuteri. Yeah.
Yes. So that not only helped the babies, but it helped the mother.
Yes, correct. It's one of those super keystone species of bacteria. Like again, Akkermansia muciniphilia, yes, I'm speaking in tongue, and E. coli bacterium proteinitide. Those keystone species of bacteria, you have to have them. But that same lactobacillus reuteri, it was named after Dr. Reuter, that German guy back in the 1950s. In his literature, he said the average person, you could find it in them. But today, only 4% of the population have lactobacillus reuteri. You see what is happening here? 4% of the population on the planet have it readily. It is missing. That is why we're so unhappy with each other. We're at each other's throat, killing off each other. And the boss, you don't even want to bounce anybody. Everybody on edge. We don't live good. We don't love one another because we may be missing keystone species that makes the chemicals to keep us happy and have a happy, healthy relationship with each other.
Wow.
That is why the microbiome conversation cannot stop.
No.
You have to understand who we are.
Because every week I learn something more. It's just blowing my mind. Because this thing with the baby and the mom not, getting cancer for 3 generations. What?
Powerful, man.
Very much so.
You always want to have these guys with you. Keep them as your best friends. Eat the food that attract them. And as I said, some of them don't like what we are eating and having our steady diet. They want the food to make them happy and to make them healthy. Where bones are not provided, dogs are not
invited. So you said that kind of steady diet. So it's okay sometimes to eat a piece of chocolate or go to Devon House and get a scoop of ice cream.
Remember though, if I cut you, this chocolate is not the chocolate with all the milk in it I'm talking about. I think I said dark.
Yes. No. I know, but I'm saying, are we? It's not. How much damage are we doing if it's a once in a while thing? If we eat some ice cream, I love ice cream, but years will pass and I don't eat it. I don't, I'm always guilty about eating ice cream. So I make sure I go to Devon House at least once when I go to Jamaica. But so if it's a once in a while thing that you do these things, how dangerous is it? Is it gonna cause a big issue?
Well, put it this way. Everybody come from a different school of thought. Some person say it's good to eat 70% healthy and 30% bad. Some say 90%. Well, the choice is yours. When people have their money, they work hard for their money, them decide what they want to do with their money. But the truth be told, usually it is said that milk is not good for you and the
Yeah,
derivatives
I
of
can
milk
drink
are not
milk.
good for you. And several other things in life too. So I
Yeah,
guess you just have to learn to do less. You can't be perfect, but
yeah,
you want to do the things that are more likely to make you healthy than unhealthy.
yeah.
And the more you play with Russian roulette is the more likely about to be. Sometimes we
You
play
get hurt.
Russian roulette to our health. Because some of us were not giving up the meat. And I'm not here to preach against meat, but you might need to look at it and see if really and truly you want to be consuming so much meat or meat any at all. And some
Mhm.
persons have just left it out of the there. But guess what? Everybody come to their own conclusion. Because we're not here to say, criticize and condemn certain people. No, we don't. We're not here to do that. But with new information, we just give it to you and say, boy, with this new
You
information,
decide
it,
what you want to
it
do
is
with
likely
it.
to impact the way you make your choices.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying to you? Yeah, because we're big people, and I don't believe we should treat people as children and say, you can't eat, you can't eat, you can't eat. No, the granny say, we're sweet nanny good, I got running belly. Some people say, we are use our own teeth to dig our grave. Just read between the lines and see
That one is hurtful.
which one.
The one about you and your teacher dig your own grave.
Oh, yeah, it's them say, it didn't originate with me, of course. But you learn from these little sayings, you learn from the elders, you learn from Bible, and you
Hmm.
learn from modern science. Because some things that we thought was okay some years ago, the narrative has changed with, with,
Yes.
with new and improved technology, that some things are not as innocent as we were thinking, and it might be harmful to the body. We need
Yeah.
to not expose ourselves to too much plastic. That is another narrative because the
Mm-mm. There's a whole
BPA
night. There's a whole night for that one.
that
Whole
the
night for
BPA in plastic is an estrogen mimicker, and it is causing the feminization of our men. Our boys are turned into girls, and our men are going to buy the tight pants them, and the woman can't get
with
them
no
tight
pocket at the
white
back.
pants because the man buy out the white pants and the pink blouse them and I wear them, and the man them want turn girl. Them literally doing it. They want to change them sex, and it is happening with certain studies are saying that when mice are exposed to certain chemicals, that the male mice start to look and be attracted to the male one. I since that, as I say, it's a big conversation.
That's terrible. We
That's
need to
a
we need
big
to we need to
conversation.
set up something for this for next year to talk about this in depth because a lot of people use plastic and heat it. So if you put hot food in it, or if you take them put in the microwave or
Yeah.
something like that,
The
you're
leaches.
exposing yourself to a lot of damage there. So I get it. I actually had an idea, and I was trying it on somebody that I know who was gay to let them drink the Belage, and the person drank a few times and decided to stop because she said something to me that I was shocked. She was telling me it's the first time in a long time she ever had an attraction for a man, somebody that introduced her to do some work for her. And I don't know if she realized that something is happening. She stopped drinking the Belash. You know.
Something is wrong because in certain toxic sewer system, the 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 female frogs start to grow a different genitalia and the male frogs. A lot of mix up going on. You see these chemicals that we're exposed to. If we understand the damage that is being done little by little over time, it's crazy. And we just need to become more conscious. After
Yeah.
concluding 25 years of studying 5,000 cases, every physician should realize that intestinal toxin is the most important primary contributing factor to both diseases, and disorders in the human body. That's what a doctor said out of New York City. I memorized it. because I was totally blown away. Intestinal toxins.
Wow.
So toxins
Wow.
in the body. That's another discussion. So we have to unburden our body from the toxic stuff that we have as we go forward to live a better quality life. Let me not keep you guys much longer.
Yeah.
But
Thank you
say,
so much,
but
Dr. Udi.
thank you. Allow me to say thanks to all the persons who joined us tonight. Thank you for your support over the weeks and months and years. And we look forward to the Lord blessing us in 2023 to be toxic free. So we
Woo.
want to um, continue to encourage each other as we continue the narrative to save our lives, the lives of others. We are the world. We
Yes.
are the people.
Amen.
So we have to join hands and hearts together to rescue our nations. Bless you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Now we've heard a lot of things tonight, and this is something, you go to a dinner at somebody's house, and everybody's allowed to take home a doggy bag. So we're gonna take home a microbiome bag tonight, and we're going to check it out tonight and tomorrow and so forth. This microbiome bag, it won't spoil,
Not at all.
right?
Not at all.
So you have a chance to digest it.
You,
Right?
you allow me to close in prayer, Lady Marva?
Actually, I was going to ask Pastor Facey.
If he's there, please feel free to go ahead and do that.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Pastor Facey, I co-hosted you, so you can open your mic, sir, if you'd like to. If you're in a position to, because he's a guy that like to multitask. So if he's not driving,
My good friend, man, Pastor Facey.
so are you available, sir? And you should be able to open your microphone. Let me try that. Okay, so I'm not getting him. So he's probably not able to open his microphone at this time. I'm going to, and we do have somebody else who help us out a lot, um, Mr. Hubert. If you go ahead and close us off in prayer, please.
Thank you, Lady Marva.
You're welcome, sir.
Let us pray.
Thank you.
Most kind and ever-loving Father, we have so much to thank you for. Lord, we thank you for the season we now celebrate. We thank you for this presentation. What a wonderful presentation. We thank you for the great presenter we have, for all the research he has done and the way he has been able, or you've enabled him, you have inspired him, you've guided him into making these wonderful presentations. He gets better every day. Thank you, Lord, for those of us who have come tonight to hear all of these powerful lessons we are now learning. Thank you, God, that you will enable this presenter and others to come to continue allowing your will to be done in and through them, so the world may become wiser, more truthful, more honest. With our people become more honest with each other and more grateful to you for the continued blessings you bestow on us. Dismiss us now with your grace as we move forward from here, and we look forward into your leading us safely through the coming year. We place ourselves into your care and allow ourselves to be guided by your wisdom in all our thoughts, words, and actions. And we do all things to your glory and honor, as we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you all for staying to the end.
Blessings.
And this is, as you know, this is our last presentation for the year for Microbiome. And we'll be back to you next week, Tuesday. Dr. Clive?
To be announced. To be announced. Thank
To
you.
be announced. Okay. Alrighty. So thank you all very much. Good night. Love you all. Mwah.
Good night. Thank you. Bless you.
Good night. Compliments of the season. Happy New Year.
Hi, good
And a
night. Good
great
night to
talk.
you.
Hello, hello,
Bless you.
amazing call, Dr. Campbell.
Bless
Amazing
you.
call.
Bless you, my friend.
I learned more reinforced information, and I love what you read about God at the end, towards the end.
Yes.
Oh, amazing God, an amazing microbiome. What a God we
Wow.
serve. Praise the
Indeed.
Lord. Thank you.
Bless God.
Amen.
Yes.
Mr. Finley, you're quite quiet.
I'd open my mic, sorry, to say good night, but then I was over talked.
Okay. You being the gentleman, you just retreated, right?
Thank you.
And thanks for coming, one of the faithfuls. Thank you. All right. I'm going to close the call now, okay?